Welcome back to Derry Public Radio. Reporting from the basement of the Derry Civic Center, this is CM Alexander with the news. Authorities in Jerusalem's lot are investigating a fire that destroyed several residences throughout the town. A local man and a teenage boy have been named persons of interest, though officials stress they have not been able to locate anyone to formally interview. After the fire was extinguished, emergency services reported difficulty finding residents awake or responsive, describing the town as unusually quiet. Third shift deputies dispatched to make follow-up contact have not reported for duty this morning. Officials insist there's no cause for alarm, though they did recommend checking on your neighbors while you still can. You're listening to Derry Public Radio. This is Derry Public Radio. Welcome back to Derry Public Radio, a bi-weekly Stephen King Book Club podcast. I'm one of your hosts, CM Alexander, alongside Joshua Kahn.
Hey, everybody.
And Dave Gatto.
Hi, constant readers.
And today we are back with a revisited. We are covering Salem's Lot, which is a pick by Dee Dee Sharonford. Thank you, Dee Dee. And Josh is leading our discussion.
Oh, boy.
Oh, hold on.
What?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I meant to do this gracefully, but I didn't.
I like this energy more.
I always assume everyone listening at this moment has heard every single episode we've ever done, start to finish.
Obviously.
Yeah.
What's Revisited?
Revisited is something you can pay for on our Patreon. For $100, you can pay for us to revisit a series we have already covered in one episode to talk about how it's changed for us, some things that we didn't talk about last time, and some goofs along the way. In addition, you get to pick another King book that we have not covered and add it to our to-be-read list.
Did you prep that?
Nope.
Wow. Good job.
I've just spent a lot. We had an influx of patrons recently, so I've been on our Patreon a lot recently.
Thank you,
Josh.
So thank you.
Josh is just a consummate professional.
Anytime there's a chance to promote, I'm ready. Salem's Lot was the sixth book we covered on the show. For those, if you want to go back and re-listen, they are episodes 16 through 18.
So year 3, because
Yeah.
we go into so much depth on every book.
But this is the first thing I noticed immediately upon re-listening, because I re-listened to our episodes in order to prep for this, was we should have known that our episodes weren't long enough. Because this was, Eve, you were leading this episode.
Weird.
And you did an awesome job.
You did a great job.
Wow.
And it was at the 1 hour mark that we end without getting to the chapter we said we'd be reading to because we've been talking too much.
Was that the first time we impromptu were like, and this is where we start?
Yes,
might
it
have
was. We had that conversation in the room and this episode's gonna be an hour and a half if we keep going.
We're so silly. We're so cute. Although, okay, I have to defend
We were
because
cute.
Josh is being very kind. Listeners, it's my fault. I was very strict. I was like, I'm editing these. They're gonna be an hour. I'm gonna make them tight. But honestly, I feel like we got longer when it was appropriate. And especially when we had more people joining the conversation. All your guys' emails and comments on our socials, give us a lot to think about and a lot more to look forward to talking to in the studio too. So it's your guys' fault. These are 90 minutes instead of an hour now.
I want to go through the episode titles and see if you all can recall.
I love this game.
All right. Episode 1 was titled Doin' the Do. Which one of us?
Oh my goodness.
Said doing the do?
That feels very CM to me.
Oh, I thought it felt very you.
Oh.
It was Eve.
Okay.
Do either of you recall what doing the do was in regards to?
It had to be something related to Ben Mears getting it in.
Yep,
it had to be Ben and Susan in the park.
It was Ben and Susan in the park.
But I don't remember why.
Eve was trying to very delicately.
I have always been the super laid back free spirit that I am now.
Yeah.
And was definitely not just uncomfortable talking about fucking on the podcast.
Episode 2 was titled Home Alone. Who said Home Alone?
Had to be me or you, because I'm thinking when you said that, I immediately thought of the Marston house. So I feel like that I had a memory about that. I might have said it.
Interesting.
This one I'm going to call was me.
Oh.
Because I have a brain worm where I love
Macaulay Culkin.
I love yelling things like nouns and just adding apostrophe D to make
That
it
is very you.
It's a Teen Girl Squad.
Yes.
Just
I changed my vote to Eve.
artifact in my head.
Love Teen
And
Girl Squad.
I do it constantly.
It was actually CM.
Oh, I changed my vote. You were so convincing.
And it is
That's a victory
hilariously
for me in a way.
It is hilariously in regards to the description of Jimmy Cody going down the stairs and falling on all those knives.
Oh, so sad. Oh, I have this thing I do where I make something funny out of something horrible.
And episode 18, Terror Comes from the Tongue.
Oh, Josh. Sorry. Because
you recall that moment pretty clearly.
I do, because you were talking about the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that has actually lived in my head, because every time I see a movie from the 70s and there's some interesting transition that is not timeless, I think about that phrase.
I'm glad that lives rent free for you. Like I said earlier, we were led by Eve. Eve and CM had both read this. It was my first read.
Mm-hmm.
I was bored. that was my first note that I made. Something that stuck out to me, because at that time we were so focused on that tight hour, that there are just whole cloth things we didn't discuss.
Mm-hmm.
So this is also going to be kind of a strange revisited, because I have just kind of some moments in time to pull out that I want to get into. And the first thing I want to start off with is the prologue, because the first time, again, the reason I wrote that my first impression of this was I'm bored was because I remember not really digging the prologue. So my question here is, what does the prologue add? Because we were all really on it.
It's a hard question for me to answer, because I kind of hate this when anything does it.
Gotcha.
I really don't like I guess I bet you're wondering how we got here kind of moment, right? Where you have these characters and you don't know who they are, and they're mysterious and they're on the run. And it's just like, I always think, oh, well, we should just be starting where the story begins. So I don't know what it's adding.
That's a really interesting point, though, because that was also my specific. I remember talking about when movies do that, and it only works some of the time. And when it does work, it's because there's actually a purpose to it that is meaningful to how the story is going to unfold, not just, cool, let's try this. So for me, I had to remember that, because first I listened to the book again, and then I re-listened to our episodes, and I remember initially when I was hearing myself say the same thing, I was like, well, why did I really care about that? It kind of works. It works on a reread if you've already read this book, because you know it's Ben, you know it's Mark, and you know what they've been through. And so to see them together in this moment is almost, it's like a sad sort of comfort, because you know what's coming, but you know they're safe in this moment.
I did feel more connected to Mark in this reread.
Yeah.
I have a note later that's in regards to the idea that I didn't give Mark enough credit for how brave he is. And we talk about how brave he is a lot, but holy shit, this kid. I forget that he's 12.
He's like a Joe.
Yeah, for sure. One of those king youths that are just...
Probably one of the first, considering how early this book was in King's career.
Yeah. This was his third?
The second novel that was published.
Okay.
I wanted to take another second before we get back into the story. I know we just got into it. But Dee Dee, who selected this, in selecting this, sent us an essay about Salem's Lot that they'd written, that the prompt of the essay was to write about a book that has had a large impact on you.
Mhm.
And it was a paper they wrote about cynicism and belief that was largely influenced by Eve. We launched into that around episode 2, the big theme of this book being cynicism versus belief.
Mhm.
And that was the inspiration for this paper. So that was very, very cool. And Dee Dee sent us that paper. I'll send it to you guys if you want to read it. I read it. It's really good.
I think this means I get to call myself an academic now.
Sam, is that true?
Yes.
The stone cold eyes.
Absolutely chilling look.
I've never seen that look on your face in 6 years of podcasting.
Withering.
I've been grading. I've like 180 papers I've
Eve,
been
are
grading.
you okay?
I'm just in a weird space.
Fair enough.
I was trying to, I'm like, make it sound positive, but it didn't reach my eyes. And I'm so sorry. I just had a king moment. Yes, you can call yourself an academic for sure.
I am going to see that look in my nightmares on my deathbed.
You know, I wish I did have in-person meetings with my students. It's all virtual. Maybe this would help.
Oh my God.
No, that is really cool though. Thanks
is.
Dee Dee for sharing that. That's awesome.
CM, give me a verb ending with ed.
Sorry. You had to.
Did you just try to immediately fill the space so I wouldn't make the joke I make every year about describing what part of speech it is?
Well, yeah. Can you tell me what a verb is?
A verb is an action word.
I know.
For our listeners. It's for our listeners. It's not for you.
Oh, yeah. I know what verbs are, listeners. It has to end in an ed.
Mm-hmm.
I can only think of. I had a verb already in mind, and it was swung, and now my brain was to say swinged.
Swung apostrophe D.
Swunged.
Swunged. I'm putting
You
it.
got swunged.
You got swunged. Oh, we're off to the
Swelled.
races.
Swelled.
Swelled.
Ooh.
That's gonna be.
That's going to be upsetting,
Perfect.
probably.
That's evocative.
We're doing a Mad Libs on Salem's Lot. I can't imagine how that could turn out. Eve, give me. Oh no.
Oh no.
Give me a plural sound.
What does a plural sound? I know that those words make sense together. It's just
Yeah.
No, I know. I understand the premise.
For
it's
our
just I'm making my
listeners,
brains wrap around booms
Booms. Perfect.
like the Costco children. I don't know. I'm not online anymore.
Your references are
My references are off.
back to the book. We skipped over a ton of stuff that happened in the chapters titled The Lot because we were very focused on our hero's journey. The prologue, as we discussed, was there is this scene in I just keep saying Zihuatanejo because every place in Mexico that Stephen King writes is just in my head Zihuatanejo.
Sure.
And they have been on the run from vampires and hiding out in Mexico, getting the newspaper that still has news on Salem's Lot.
And being sad.
And being real sad.
It is fun to read.
And finding out it's time to go back.
Well, it is fun to hear about people this time around in the prologue that we know like what their fate was.
Yeah, that's true. When it goes through the town and it talks about certain people missing, and
some people
now you're like, oh, I know where that person went.
And they're like, I don't know what happened in that town. I moved.
You're like, oh yeah, Parkins Gillespie's just a fucking coward. That's what his thing is.
Mm-hmm.
So I have thoughts about him that might be different from your guys.
I also have big thoughts about Parkins Gillespie.
I have zero thoughts, so I can't wait to talk about Parkins Gillespie.
Okay.
Let me ask, when it comes to the stories that are about the people in the lot, favorites and least favorite characters that are the lot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I feel like I had the same favorite people as I did before. Like I love, is it Ava Miller?
Ava Miller, yeah.
And Weasel.
Mm-hmm.
I love their story. They're both just in a town full of problematic people.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
when we come to characters like them, and it's like a breath of fresh air in a
Mhm.
way.
The scene between Ben and Weasel at the
At the
bar
Yeah.
where they're just hanging out and you're like, "Oh, these two are just seem like pleasant guys."
I was way more into things like that, like just the everyday life stuff
Mhm.
this time. And again, I think it's because of the reread.
The pace. Like I was
Yeah.
not. I was very critical about, can we just get to the vampires? Because the scene, even after reading it once, the scene that still sticks in my head as being early, it isn't, spoiler alert,
Mhm.
is Danny Glick outside of Mark's window.
Mm.
That's like
Yeah.
100 some pages in. Like
Yeah.
we're pretty deep into the book.
Yeah, that's a crazy. I feel like that's a crazy criticism to have, because I liked the pacing of this book this time.
This time,
Yeah.
yes.
I love how slow and methodical and how much it feels like on the reread, knowing what's happening. It's so obvious when early on it's like, oh, this dog got strung up to a fence.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it is such a throwaway thing. But then later
Way
on,
later,
the payoff of it, of like, oh, this thing, it seems like it's happened really fast, but like it has been,
In the words.
yeah, Straker and Barlow have been operating before anyone knew. I think that's really cool.
I made the note that the first read, I either missed or it didn't sink in that the sale of the Marston house and the washroom were a year prior to Straker even getting there. So the groundwork had, and I mean, we know the groundwork starts with Hubie Marston, but just this move to Salem's Lot has already been in the works for a year.
I don't, like I said, I didn't re-listen, so I don't know who I would have pointed out the first time through as a favorite, but I really liked, and I'm not going to remember his name, but the gravedigger kid, the dude who works in the graveyard and who gets like hypnotized. Yeah.
That might be wrong, but
The guy
who dies in
Matt Burke's.
Yes, okay, Matt's the teacher.
room.
Yeah.
Yes. I really liked that character this time.
I did too.
Definitely a different perspective than the first time I read this, or the time we read this for the show before. Because this time, as every time it came to him, I was like, this guy sounds hot. I definitely would not have had that thought the first few times I read this book. But every time it comes to this guy, he's just like a laid back guy. And he's like, yeah, sometimes he like meets girls and sometimes they get freaked out that he works at the digging
did it
graves.
Make you want to go on a date with him and be like, tell me about your job?
Yeah. Obviously.
A little bit, yeah.
Like, he digs all day. He's got to be like strong.
He does not.
I mean, what?
I think that's very valid.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank you for backing me up here.
It's sad to say that this is it's not my favorite because they're my favorite people.
Just a favorite character.
Yeah, and it's Bonnie Sawyer and
Reggie.
Reggie. That
oh boy, yeah.
The violent cuckolding that takes place within that household.
That plot line is so weird.
It's so fucked.
Fucking wild.
It's so like weird. I kept thinking this time, I'm like, this whole storyline feels like you could pick it up and take it out of this book and just put it down as its own short story, and then it would be the exact same thing.
It's like King got really into this unfolding.
That more than any of the other townsfolk plot lines, theirs feel so fleshed out.
And I think that's what jumped out to me, is that when shit hits the fan towards the last day, there are those segments of the lot that are about people just decided to stay in today and didn't really put a lot of thought into why they felt that way. Whereas this household is this drama is their existence. It is the sole thing that there is an apocalypse happening around them and they have no idea.
Well, and what's going on inside of this home is bad enough on its own that you don't need both of these things happening at once. So it's like in a effective way, it's like a hat on a hat.
Yeah, like imagine you are having the literal worst day of your entire goddamn life, and then you find out there's vampires in town.
Yeah, you're being tortured and vampires. You're like, oh, come on.
Right. And again, there's that beat of, how did I miss this? How did suddenly the whole town become vampires while I was busy?
I was going to save this for like the end, more towards the wrap up and readings, but I think maybe we should address this now. I think it's interesting. I feel like this book was overhyped for me.
Interesting.
When we first covered it. So I was expecting a lot. And this is, oh boy, Devin's going to shudder later. This is like the Beatles or David Bowie and Iggy Pop playing music together. It influenced a lot, but going back to that without understanding that influence, you don't understand the hype around it, because this book was terrifying to a lot of people and very effective, and it didn't scare me at all, not even this time. It was suspenseful and well told, but I wasn't scared, and so I didn't get that piece of it. But just kind of taking myself out of that mindset and thinking, okay, think of this in the time it was written. What would that have been like? What was in pop culture about vampires? It kind of helped that Joe Hill did the introduction in the audiobook. Yeah. Although I thought that was a little weird, because it's like that's your son. Well, of course he's gonna but he was almost defending it. Like, this was scary when it came out, and it scared the shit out of me as a kid, and explaining why his dad wrote it the way he did, because he was heavily influenced by, the author's name slips my mind, but this specific writer.
He says specifically, he's like, this, like, feel what you will, but you have to admit that Salem's Lot is like one of the top 5 most influential pieces of vampire media that has ever existed. Bram Stoker's Dracula. I forget what else. Nosferatu.
Or, the other one.
My high school play production of Dracula.
Definitely.
Of course, Josh.
And then he lists Twilight.
Not all influences are good.
Which is, it's, I don't know. I thought it was a really interesting introduction.
It was very interesting.
You know what I feel vampire media impacted me negatively in regards to Salem's Lot? True Blood.
I could
so you're
see
not
that.
a fan of True Blood?
Love True Blood.
Oh.
I think that the final season is sloppy and stupid, but I do love that it's ultra horny and ultra violent.
As vampire shit should be.
Right.
I watched that with Devin's parents, and I still don't
That's
know. We didn't know going in.
so hot.
Okay. We were talking about
what?
Something else.
So speaking of vampire media, actually, I'd like to take a little bit of a break to ask y'all. I'm sure we talked about other vampire media in our older episodes. But when it came up that we were going to revisit Salem's Lot, I was thinking about it and came to realize that I kind of have a weird blind spot when it comes to vampire movies.
Okay.
I love vampires. Favorite monster. They're awesome. They are really sincerely, deeply scary, but also
hot
as hell and cool, and like whatever you want, there's a kind of vampire for you. So in preparation, I watched a few vampire movies, and I just wanted to ask y'all some of your favorites.
Interview with the Vampire.
Okay, with Tom Cruise.
And
right?
Brad Pitt.
I've never seen it.
I'm a sucker for vampires that are tragic and romantic.
You want the gothic vampire.
Yeah, Anne Rice really had my number. And I love Dracula, and I especially love watching the movie because Gary Oldman plays just this, like, oh my God, your heart, you know? And yeah, Interview with the Vampire. And I read the books when I was a teenager in high school. So I fell in love with Lestat. And I even love, and it's okay, guys can judge me. I deserve it. I love Queen of the Damned. It's not a good movie.
Okay.
The movie Queen of the Damned. But it is very gothy. It's not the gothy movie we deserve, but it's the one we have.
I've never seen that one.
Need to add
need
that for
yes.
Girls' Night 2
Yes.
when we do our second goth movie marathon.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the like more gothic aspects of vampires, have you seen the movie Only Lovers Left Alive?
A long time ago.
Okay, because that seems like a very movie.
The Hunger.
I just watched The Hunger.
Kiss
it was
of
one
the
of the ones.
Damned. Yeah, those are all Kiss of the Damned. You got it.
I was so mad when I finished The Hunger that you or Devin had never said the words Susan Sarandon lesbian vampire to me.
Swear to
Had
God
you?
we said that. Isn't that why you watched
I was
it?
such a fool.
It's the reason I watched it with them.
Why did I not listen?
What more can I say?
Oh, Josh, do you have some favorites?
Blade.
Hell yes.
Blade is great.
Hell yes.
Fucking love a
absolutely.
Blade.
You like action.
I love action.
Yeah, action vampires.
Dawn of the Dead.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
From Dusk Till
Yeah.
Dawn. Yeah. From Dusk Till Dawn is so fucking great. Yeah, I love action-y vampire stuff.
Okay.
I recommended to you The Forsaken, which is a very terrible
I
early
have it on the
2000s.
list.
Oh, it's cringy. It's so bad.
Okay, so I want to ask you, how do you feel about the Underworld series?
I think it's hilarious.
How
think
many
it's
of them
so
have you
funny.
seen?
There's like 6.
There's so
Those
many.
are like the Resident Evil
Mhm.
I-
Mila Jovovich movies to me.
1,000%.
Yeah. I don't enjoy them. Other people can. I love it. It's awesome. Not for me.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same way.
Okay.
It's very blue.
I think it's it's very blue and wet.
Yup.
Kate
What more do you want?
Beckinsale is fine blue and wet. I'll take her blue and wet all day.
Damn straight.
It's I think the third one where there's the like hybrid on the loose. Yeah.
Yes.
Some of that stuff
that's the one
is
I
really cool.
fell off
Yeah.
on, yeah.
Oh,
that
you
was
fell
all-
off on that one?
That's when I was
Yeah.
like, all right, that's enough for me.
Kind of where I fell on, if you know what I mean. What are we
Once-
talking about?
Once those movies start going direct to DVD, you start
Yeah.
realizing, all right.
Listeners, send us your picks. And it's
Ooh,
okay
yeah,
if
please.
Oh my
Twilight
God.
is among them.
Why am I sorry?
What?
I missed the most influential vampire media that I based a lot of my identity around, which was
The Littlest
the-
Vampire starring Jonathan Lipnicki.
yeah, exactly. Angel, the
Oh,
series Angel, and
okay,
the
it's a
spinoff
Buffy
from Buffy
girl.
the Vampire
Yeah.
Slayer. I was a big Buffy guy too.
Buffy the movie and the
Mhm.
series. Excellent.
Yes.
Girl
But
power,
man,
Eve.
Add it to the list.
Yep.
Angel was one of like I have rewatched that series every few years because I love David Boreanaz. And just that show's so great
Hmm.
in my opinion.
Lots of good vampire media to dig
Mhm.
into. And not so good, but fun.
There is have both of you seen the show Angel?
No.
No, I'm only familiar with this character from
Okay.
Buffy.
I've seen
So-
like a season and a half of Buffy.
So in
Maybe.
Buffy, Angel is a protagonist / antagonist because he's a
Mhm.
vampire with a soul. So he becomes a villain
He's
when
a vampire with a soul,
With a
Eve.
soul.
It's
Whoa.
so
it's
hot.
it's so hot. Eve, it's so hot.
It's so hot.
I
Um,
believe you.
And because vampires have perfect memory, he remembers every atrocity he's ever done. So he spends years eating rats and living that kind
Kind
of
of like
life
Louis
to stay
in
off
Interview with the
the
Vampire.
Regardless, when he gets sent to hell, and when he comes back and he gets his soul back, he realizes, hey, it's too dangerous because now his curse is if he ever experiences a moment of pure happiness, he'll lose his soul and be back to being a soulless vampire. So the way he loses his soul is by fucking Sarah Michelle
Are
Gellar.
we just giving away all
Yeah.
of the...
Spoiler alerts
Yeah.
for Angel,
Yeah.
I guess.
No, it's for Buffy.
Oh, okay.
It's fine. He gets his soul back and then he moves to Los Angeles. That's the point.
Just like Joey from Friends.
And when he's in Los
My
Angeles,
favorite vampire.
he starts a private detective agency to help people to someday be human again. But in the first episode, he finds another vampire in LA who's been like taking actresses and like disappearing people, and he kicks him through a goddamn window in a skyrise in the middle of the day, and it's awesome. Watch Angel. What are we talking about?
Oh no,
sorry.
but that would be a really funny name for this episode. Watch Angel.
Eve, give me an adjective.
Oh shit. Wow, the first thing I thought of, not a word. I was like, yeah, probably like squinky. Not a word. Not stinky is a word though.
Yeah, stinky is a word. CM, give me a body part that's plural.
Lungs.
Good choice. Back to our book. I want to talk about our quartet that we assemble through this story, and I want to ask you each, what do you think makes each member stand out from the rest of the lot? Because talking about the fully fleshed out characters that some of these lot people are, in another book, some of these other characters could have been the ones that rise to this occasion, but it's these. So what do you think is it about these characters that makes them the one?
Mark, it's just that he's a gunslinger. I mean, that's the most
So true.
That's the most obvious one. I think. Wait, not Mike. Matt
Burke.
Burke. Jeez, was Ryerson the other guy?
Mike Ryerson.
Mike Ryerson.
Yeah.
Too many M names.
You're right,
Anyway.
no joke.
He becomes the Van Helsing of the group,
Mhm.
and so obviously his worth is being the academic, like Eve, and guiding them, and he is something for them to kind of rally around. So I feel like that's what makes him stick out.
It's strange to me because so many of their group are academics. Ben is an author. He's of the mind, and Cody is a doctor and should be the least likely to believe anything. Matt is a teacher, but all of them
Susan just
have
graduated high school,
and
she's
24 years old.
I know. I thought she was 18. Didn't we talk about her being 18
No,
in the book?
Ben thought Eve did the math, if I recall correctly, that when she reveals how old she is, saying that she's 24 or 25, he says something to the effect of, "Crazy, I thought you were 7 years younger when we met."
Yeah, that's right.
We collectively
were
shuddered.
Susan's reading.
Yeah, she likes books, so
Yeah.
she's smart.
I feel like we don't know much about her.
Not really. She's independent. She has ambition to move away from the lot. I think there's something there.
It's interesting though, because she's still living at home at this time when we meet her, and has this character arc where she realizes the relationship that she has with her mother in particular at this stage in her life, not so healthy, and it'd be good for both of them if she left the nest. And so I think too, it's hard to really get a clear sense of who she is because she hasn't had the opportunity to develop who she is yet.
Yeah. Try to answer your question, I guess. It really does, and this is something that kind of leapt out at me more, maybe, unless I talked about this last episode and don't remember, is how much I think it's them because of forces beyond any of their control. I think it is fate or destiny or whatever, or that's what we're supposed to take away from it.
They reference the white at some point. Yeah.
But like when Ben and Susan meet in the park, and he says right from the beginning, it has their small talk about whatever about the town had a feeling of the future to it. And so there was a moment of like, we were meant to meet here. And then he has that same feeling when he runs into Mark for the first time.
Yeah.
And they stop and they look at each other, and there's like a beat where they're both like, whoa, there's something going on here.
I forgot about that
And
because
it
he's
is-
just on the front porch at Eva's when Ben walks out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think it is anything in particular about them. It's just they were the people that were in this place, and fate or destiny or whatever coincided to make them be the ones.
I realized that the first read, I had anticipated Jimmy Cody not joining the gang because of that, you know,
More scientific. He's not
scientific
gonna
mind, whatever.
believe, yeah.
And after the, if I remember right, there's something like after the Marjorie Glick attack, that chapter just ends with like everything calmed down, and then Jimmy screamed for a while, and I kind of thought that was the end for him initially. So I was surprised when he continued, but this time, I don't know, the level-headed determination of Jimmy Cody stuck out to me because my read of him is almost this whole time being like, whatever's going on is way over my head, but I'm here and it's happening. And that's the part I have to address.
They're all
like,
open-minded about it, yeah.
And it was like, we discussed his belief in medicine, the reason that you know, cleaning the wound works, even though it might not have worked for another person, but for him, he has that faith in medicine.
Well, because they make
works.
popsicle sticks into a cross, so like, yeah.
Which is just fantastic. But the member that we lose, Susan, I realized the first time reading when her and Mark go into the house is an extremely tense scenario. And the whole time, I love that Mark is a little dismissive of her. Like the small stake that she brings and how she tries to play coy about what she's really doing.
There's a moment where Mark goes, "We're going to go in the house. We're going to stake him with my stake."
Defense post, yeah.
And just his delivery made me laugh. I like that.
Yeah, I read the first time and this time did the audiobook, and the audiobook was so good. How did you both feel about Susan this time around, knowing that she isn't making it to the end, knowing that we lose her in this? I wasn't as attached to Susan. I didn't invest a lot of my feelings into Susan this time around.
Yeah, I just felt bad that I got to see all her hopes dashed. And she, you know, she's thinking like, after all of this, I'll leave with Ben if he will let me. Like, I'm just going to get out of here. And I don't know, I like Susan, but just sort of like I was saying earlier, she never gets the chance to figure out who she is and become that person. She's on her way, but she's robbed of it. It's interesting because Mark is like the innocent, he's the child, right? But Susan is actually the innocent sacrifice in this.
The moment that I want to talk about in that Marston House invasion, I mentioned earlier that I didn't give Mark Petrie enough credit for his bravery. And this time, the moment that Mark has to leave Susan in that basement really got to me. Like, just envisioning this 12-year-old kid at the top of the stairs who's just killed a man, as far as he knows. I forgot that they talk. In my head, he escaped and then ran home. And so when this moment happened, I was legitimately surprised, and it got me a little bit.
It sucked to see him have to do that because what else was he going to do?
Right.
Like, they would both be dead.
I'm glad that he doesn't make the decision to leave. It's the fact that he hears Barlow, and that's the, I have
this
to.
is a trap.
There is no choice. Were there any moments like that either of you had completely forgotten about, that when it came around, you were either blindsided by or had that, oh yeah, moment? Because another one that I had was the Floyd Tibbetts attack on Ben right after Mike Ryerson dies. Absolutely had forgotten that takes place. So when Ben is on his way,
knocked out of, it almost seems like he's going to be taken out of the story.
Right. So, because it's, to recap, listeners, this is right when they're going to go to the Marston house. They're all going to get everyone together. And it's before they can assemble everyone together at Matt's house that Matt has the heart attack in his house. At the same time he's having a heart attack, Ben is getting his ass kicked by Floyd Tibbetts, who was dressed, had all of his skin covered.
I was struck more this time around by how quickly everything they try to do, every plan they make, just sort of falls apart. Like I don't feel like that was as impressed upon me the first time how instrumental to the story just the unfolding of all of that was. And I think it is really an effective way to tell this story. It's almost like there's just this unseen, unnatural force kind of putting roadblocks in their way.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I'm going to come back to that a little bit. While Eve's thinking of a moment. CM, I need a type of creature that's not a vampire.
Unicorn.
Perfect.
Wait, did I already do unicorn in one of these?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
And I need an occupation.
Also me?
Yes.
Bartender. Because I want a unicorn bartender. Oh, I didn't talk about one.
Oh, you didn't?
I just talked about how cool yours was. Do you want to think? Okay. I remembered what the one that kind of surprised me was. I had forgotten about in a way. It was when Ben and Dr. Cody are in the morgue. And just how that unfolded where they're looking for the Glicks and they find out that all hell broke loose and she's dead. And so they go to the morgue and they have to convince the guy to leave and just let them watch the body. And he's like, yeah, of course. We're good pals. I'll do it. And I really loved how King described her arm falling out of the sheet and starting to like twitch and move. Like I could picture it this time. I'm like, oh yeah, if a corpse's hand fell out and the fingers just started like twitching weirdly, I wouldn't even know I had run away until I was well away from the building. And that scene, just the way it unfolds, was really cool because she attacks and she bites Dr. Cody, and I had forgotten how this played out. So it's like, he's dead already. No, because I really liked him.
Yeah, I like that part of him panicking after he's been bit and after she's been taken care of, where he is like unclean,
he can feel it.
Oh, that's so upsetting.
And I love he gives himself a tetanus shot and he sterilizes the wound, and then he's like, Ben, put a cross on me. I have to make sure it's like all gone. And I'm like, just the balls. But you would be so desperate.
It was also nice to get the other side of the coin, because he tells us when you were fighting her, all I could think about was attacking you and like ripping you.
Not to be gross, but I had a boner.
Yeah, and you would not believe the wood I had.
Well, because we get like they're sort of mindless. They're not the romantic vampires I really like, but is still that like almost animalistic, maybe evolutionary is the word. Yeah, just like raw sexuality about it as well. We get that a lot with people, succumbing to other vampires.
They are definitely like the people of the town, definitely gangrel traits. Of course, Barlow is more like, I don't know,
the business ones.
Yeah, the business ones.
We're talking about Kindred the Embraced, you guys.
I'm talking about
amazing.
Vampire the Masquerade.
That's, all of that at Kindred and Vampire.
I don't know a ton. My party fell apart.
Oh.
I know. R.I.P. my Nosferatu.
Live stream, if you want to hear us get weird, we'll set a really high Patreon goal because we'll never be in the same room after.
So horny. It's such a horny game.
Eve?
Oh yeah, I didn't have a favorite part. I liked when the vampires.
You liked when the vampires.
Sorry, not like favorite part. It's like something you forgot that had happened, and when it came around, you were like, "Oh yeah,
yeah." Oh no, I got one of those. I forgot. I remember what the vampires I like that part.
Nice.
It's a good part.
God damn
when the vampires.
Eve, give me a verb.
Fling.
And I need a noun that's an abstract concept. Like life and death.
No, I understood.
Okay.
This one I understood immediately. War.
Nice. CM, I need an adjective.
Wooden.
And a noun that is a type of material.
I know how this is going to play out, and I was like, I want it to be nasty, but I don't know if I can. It's like, I never know. Okay, so it has to be a material.
It's just
a noun that is a type of material that can be used in any fashion.
Does like fish scale work?
Yeah.
Fish scales?
Would.
As good as anything.
Wouldn't,
Well, I said
would.
wooden.
I know, that would be funny.
Eve, can I have a singular body part?
Boob.
Nailed it. CM, you mentioned the Marjorie Glick fight, and I'm glad you did, because there is a moment at the end of this when Marjorie Glick escapes through the walls by turning into a fart.
Hell yeah.
And she mentions before she leaves that their circle has grown one smaller because, unbeknownst to them, at this time, Susan has been killed. And we didn't talk about this last time, but I want to get your thoughts on the vampire hive mind, let's say. What are your thoughts
Borg.
about that what are your thoughts about that in Vampire Lore? Do you like the connectedness?
I do. I think it really works for these creatures. It gives, if you're not going to have the sexy hot romantic vampires like Anne Rice, I think it adds an element to something that is already very dangerous and scary, and it just takes it to that notch that makes it the stuff of like horror.
Yeah, I like it. I like the idea of a vampire being able to like reach out and speak to its thralls, you know. But to bring it back, there's a tribe called the Malkavians, who their entire thing is their vampirism drives them insane, but it also connects them into a vampire hive mind that I don't remember what it's called. It's something called like the net or something.
Sounds gross.
And people think that it might actually be the tribe's leader. Like each tribe has they're like basically a god vampire, and theirs has been missing, and they think that he turned into a purely mental energy that connects all of these crazy vampires. I think that's pretty cool.
That's the kind of vampire I'm gonna be.
And for everyone that actually plays Vampire the Masquerade and wants to is now yelling at their podcast about how the many ways in which I was slightly wrong, that's fine.
I'll allow it. Do you think the communication is one way, like trickle down from Barlow down, or everybody, like they all sense?
I feel like they would all have to for him to be really powerful.
It is a really powerful like boon to just passively know the things that your thralls know. Another thing that we did not talk about that I feel like we could talk about for a while, we didn't talk about Father Callahan's Incubus story, like not one bit.
He loves that band.
And who doesn't?
Next point.
I'm glad you brought up Father Callahan, because I don't think we commented on this the first time. I felt robbed of him in this story.
Yeah.
I wanted so much more of him than we got, because when he is taken out of the equation, it is done in such a wickedly cool way. And then how the way that he just sort of pieces out of everything, just it almost makes him seem like a callous asshole, but you understand because of how it went down that he needs to remove himself, take himself out of the equation. And I wanted to feel about Father Callahan. I wanted to feel as attached to him the way I was to, Ben or Dr. Cody or Matt or Mark. And I didn't quite get there, but not in a bad way that affected the story. It's just like, no, he wasn't as he didn't feel like a part of their quartet.
Interesting. And that's really interesting, because I kind of think that he's not that he shouldn't be part of the quartet.
No, I think he should be, but he didn't feel like that.
No,
to me.
yeah. I think in this read through, I have such latent, like Father Callahan's cool because we know eventually he joins a group of cowboy knights, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
But if you take this story completely by itself, ignore all other knowledge of his future, of what he goes on to do, I don't think we're supposed to
No,
I
is
think
purely
Callahan,
what I know about him that's like influencing how I reacted in the story.
I think very specifically we are supposed to see Callahan as like a tragic figure, But him losing is supposed to be us going, yeah, of course you lost because your whole worldview sucks. Like, I don't know. I felt much more, not like in a, oh, why didn't I like, but like Father Callahan is a deeply complicated character,
Yes.
Yeah.
and I liked him for that. But when he leaves the story, when he is like, I have lost everything, my faith has been more than lost. Like, it has been forever taken from me. You're supposed to go, wow, that's horribly tragic, but yeah, you kind of brought this on yourself, bud. Like, with your whole I don't want to follow the church to help people. I want to kick ass and take names. And it's
All right.
like, that's
Yes.
a bad way to live your life. And that's what the story is telling us.
So I want to get into that specifically because it really jumped out to me this time, Callahan's big E versus little e evil. And I don't know if I just didn't pay as much attention to this. One line in particular is essentially Callahan saying that the church's decision to influence politics, influence their communities, do these things to help people is the church's damnation in a sense, because it is putting both feet in the material world as opposed to being the bridge between the two. And this time the verbiage, it really sank in of like, oh, and to Eve's credit, what you're saying, like that is a terribly flawed way to view the world. Like, of course you should use your power to make the world a better place for the people in it. But I also see that idea of if we commit fully, we are losing that attachment.
And think about the things that he is specifically complaining about in the town, these small evils. That he is like, these are so mundane. They aren't big and powerful, and they won't make me superhero for God. All of the little evils are things that social programs would solve.
I guess I didn't really catch him. I knew he was cynical, but it didn't really hit me that, I don't know, the way you guys are describing it, I guess I had a slightly different feel about his cynicism.
Well, because it's not that he is against the social advances, it is that he is against the church being a voice in those social advances, because that is putting the church's attention in solely the mortal realm. And that was the distinction that got me this time, is like, no, it doesn't really address his belief about social issues. It's saying the church,
that's irrelevant.
Right. And he's kind of saying that the way I feel is, I feel the church, who I am a representative of, should stay out of the nitty gritty, quote unquote, because we have to be above, because we have to fight off the capital E evil that society has now turned the devil into social issues. Which
is ignoring the fact that, like I said, like if the social issues would help with the little e evil. I don't know. It's
the things we know now.
Callahan is a complicated character, and I do not like him as a person in this story. But as a character, you get to the end, you're like, it's sad. Him being run out of town.
And the things that he's grappling with socially when this was written versus what we grapple with now are so different too.
And then none of that is anything that I'm saying. It's just
I was just reflecting on
worldliness versus I don't know.
He's burnt out.
Worldliness versus godliness.
He needs a
vacation.
Eve, I need a noun.
Toupee.
Sam, I need a natural disaster.
Avalanche. Is that a disaster? Does that count?
Yeah, definitely.
Also, give me another adjective. Or no, Eve, you give me an adjective.
Why'd you take it away?
Because I'm going to give you a hard one.
Oblong.
All right, there we go. Sam, give me a direction or movement phrase. Like left, right, forward, or backward.
I know directions.
I would have asked for a direction.
I did a direction or movement phrase. That's what backward, forward, left, or right.
I said down.
Okay.
Down.
Yeah.
All right. Eve, a span of time.
2:45 a.m. to 6:12 p.m. the following afternoon.
Afternoon. Perfect. And a liquid.
Glue.
Siam, a past tense verb. Swung.
I almost said that. I didn't want to do it. Taken.
Thank you. Thank you all so much. Callahan's incubus story.
Oh, yeah.
When Matt is talking to Father Callahan about joining their quartet and bringing the force of the church with them, because Callahan takes that very seriously. He mentions, you can ask me to do something, but asking me as a representative of the church is a whole other thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so Matt does his Van Helsing thing, downloads a bit of what he knows to Callahan, and approaches it with that "you're gonna think I'm crazy" energy. And Callahan's response is a little surprising, because he responds with a story of his own. Not exactly a story of his own, but a story told to him by somebody that he trusts enough that he trusts the facts of the story.
Mm.
And that's kind of the route we get. And the story involves this other priest in another country who gets asked to do a funeral outside of the city, and he goes, and they have surrounded the coffin, but with flowers.
White roses.
They've propped the girl's mouth open, stuffed it with garlic and some other things, and he is a little freaked out when he sees the presentation of the body. And when he goes to ask somebody, it is very deadpan of basically, she's been taken by an incubus, so we have to do this, or so she doesn't come back as one of the undead. And it's so plain and dropped so casually, and he's a little dumbfounded by it. And come to find out that this woman had been engaged when she was younger to a man who had a birthmark on his neck that was like a strawberry patch, and he had died. And all these years later, she'd moved on, become engaged, and one day comes to her new fiance and says, "I've been unfaithful. My dead ex came back, and technically we're still together, so we banged, and I'm really sorry." And the fiance's reaction is, "Oh, my wife's crazy." Like, to his credit, at least he's not mad about the cheating. He's just thinks his wife's insane. And so they go through all this process. They do all the rites to make sure she doesn't come back. And a few weeks later, this priest is walking through the cemetery and sees a man at the gravesite of this woman. And that man has a birthmark on the side of his face. So this priest takes his Polaroid camera, snaps a few photos, shows it around town. One woman faints. The mother of the girl who died breaks into these sobs because it's him. And then days later, the image fades from the photograph.
That's
so
really
it's
cool.
just
He
images
fades from the image.
He fades, so it's just photos of a graveyard.
Okay, imagine you find love. It's going good, and then you die. That's tragic.
It's a bummer.
But then you get a
F.
second chance, and years later, you find that person again. You're like, hey, I'm still let's do this. And she's like, let's do this. And you're back together, and then she gets murdered. And you have to go on without her. That sucks.
That is pretty
That's
sad.
a bummer.
Sympathizing with the vampires.
That's your brand. But I can't believe we didn't talk about that at all the first time. That story is badass.
There's so much to talk about in this book.
That's
honestly.
true. That's very true. Siam, you had mentioned the being a step ahead earlier, and this is where I wanted to bring that back. We talked about towards the end where the days seem like they only last 10 minutes, and then it's night. The scene when they're driving around to try to buy flowers, and Straker has bought all of the roses in that store, I thought was so badass.
Yeah, that moment that obviously reminds me of the obdurate past.
Yeah.
That feeling of no, the harder we try to do this mildly related thing, the more time we're wasting, the more we are fighting against the time. We're not
Instead
just
of preparing.
Yeah, it makes Barlow a threat when he is just not around.
Yeah,
He's omnipresent.
It
in a
is
way.
daytime. It is the middle of the day, and they're like, they cannot hurt us. And yet they keep finding themselves being like, oh, we're running out of daytime. We are suddenly on an actual meaningful clock before we are just going to die. And that's scary.
Yeah.
It's the reason that I can't play the first Pikmin. It's the countdown. You only get 30 days to play. It's just like being on that timer. Same thing with Majora's Mask. That game stresses me out because it's like you're on a countdown timer until the end, and that I don't like it.
But at least you can reset time.
True, but still
Scary.
stresses me out.
Another thing that I caught this time was the way Barlow plants the seeds for Callahan's defeat in the letter he leaves. The mocking letter that he leaves with Susan's body. Yeah. I wanted to point that out because it's just the great foreshadowing. There's also in the lot chapters, there's one note about the only natural death that happens on October 6th that I thought was really great.
What was that?
Yeah, that's right. It's
one person dies of a heart attack.
Just has a heart attack. It says like fate gave him a break or something because he died before sunset went down.
Yeah. I also wanted to pull out Ava Miller's dream right before she's turned, where she's naked in the window, and we don't know that Barlow is in her basement yet, but the clues.
Is that where she's talking about her husband's pool table that's in the basement?
And then it even has the line, "We'll fix the stairs."
Yes, yeah. All of that stuck. See, it's so much better on a second read.
Agreed. Which is funny because the last time we read was my second read. It's better on a third read.
One other thing that I wanted to point out that I feel like didn't quite land for me the first time was Jimmy's point of how long can you stake vampires before it drives you insane? Because I'd also, in the way that vampire media has told us the variety of ways vampires react to being staked. As I mentioned, Buffy the Vampire, they're instantly turned to dust and it's just gone. When we see Susan get staked, it is brutal. Yeah. She claws and screams.
It's a hard death.
Right.
Yeah.
And
no comfort for the pseudo husband staking her.
Right.
Ben.
And this time I really thought about that idea of staking the roughly 1,000 people in Salem's Lot and watching each one of them do that.
The children.
I did think of this when they first try to pull the family, the dad,
into
out
the
into the
sunlight.
sun to see what happens. He doesn't like burst into flame right away. He like crawls back sort of mindless. And Josh, you were the one who's like, no, you pull the baby out because it's the easiest.
You can just fling it. Yeah.
And this time around, I was like, why are they going for the biggest vampire? Pull out the baby.
I do love how disgusting it is. Like the way they describe him crawling back into the.
That part is upsetting because it's so it really hammers home for me when I'm reading this that the townspeople who have become vampires have lost themselves. That's why I like Anne Rice vampires, not just because it's sexy, but because you don't lose who you are. And I think of any sort of transformation like that, being made into a vampire, the fear is, will I be me?
Yeah,
for sure. I want to go through our ratings before wrapping this up with a little Mad Libs. Previously, Eve, you and I gave this 3 blue chambray shirts. CM was still in her 5 era, so we got a 5 blue chambray shirts. I want to go through and let's re-rate this monster. CM, do you want to go first?
Sure. Okay, that 5 was really a 3, just for clarity on that, the honesty of that rating and how that affects this rating. I've been talking basically since we covered this about how I felt like I did not give it a fair chance. And I think we talk about this a lot. we all go through stuff. And we've been doing this for 6 years, and we've all gone through stuff that people don't always know about because we try to leave it at the podcast door so that we can like be present and be entertaining. But it sometimes you cannot divorce yourself from the context of your life,
Sure.
Yep.
even for an hour.
Yeah.
And I don't remember where my mindset was at the time that I just couldn't like relax and enjoy this the way I could now, but I definitely was so much more into it this time. The problems I had with it, even like the age thing with Susan and Ben, I think I was still thinking she was barely an adult. Like nothing that I had a complaint about bugged me this time, and I just enjoyed the story. And I also needed to place myself in the time frame in which it was written to and appreciate what it did when it came out. And I really enjoyed listening back to this. And I even enjoyed listening back to our episodes because we weren't as hard on it as we thought we were. We did like it. It's just there are some slow parts, but they hit better this time. And for me, again, I think that's because I have the context of what's going on with the characters, so I feel more for them during those moments. So I would elevate this to a true 4 out of 5 blue chambray shirts.
Fantastic. Eve?
I think you said it just right. Like being able to relax and read this time was a huge help. Before we started recording, we were talking a little bit about how excited were about this and like how things might have changed between our last reading and this reading. And I asked, I was like, I've been thinking about it. I didn't go back and reread the episodes, but I really, why did we not like this?
I know.
I couldn't remember. I remembered something about Susan's age, being upset about that. But other than that, like, and that did not bother me at all. I was more aware that like, wow, a lot of these characters, even some of our protagonists, aren't like that. They are deeply flawed people. And that didn't bother me as I feel like it did in the early days of the podcast, where I am hopefully more willing to be like, oh yeah, some characters are written to be kind of shitheads. And
they're complex and we have to grapple with whether we like them or not. And that's fun. Yeah.
So I don't know. This was just I enjoyed just putting the audiobook on and just enjoying it as a story.
And one whole
which
story
is
instead
something,
of breaking it up.
Yeah. And, Stephen King, he's a big fan of being like, story's just a story.
Yeah.
If it's a fun story, did you have fun listening to it? Then congratulations. And I had fun listening to this. This is one I really wish I could give my 0.5s, but I won't. I'm going to say 4 out of 5 blue chambray shirts.
Fantastic. This time around, I think the thing I appreciated the most, we all know my love of Needful Things, and I mentioned it in my review, in my rating of Salem's Lot, that this is like the prototype for that kind of story, the whole town.
About that.
And what I didn't appreciate about the pace the first time, this second time I appreciated the way that the town started surrounding them. Like it became, watching this trap basically unfold was much more enjoyable because I knew that we were going to get laying the groundwork for all of this major thing this time, instead of what I anticipated, which was, I guess, a little more action-y on my first read. So yeah, settled into this, a much better read the second time around. 4 out of 5 blue chambray shirts. Now, before we exit, I would like to leave you all with a reading from our Mad Libs of Salem's Lot.
And this is a section of the book that you've
yes.
You turned into a vampire creature of horror.
Right. The scene I have decided to use as the base is the Barlow Callahan face-off.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So it's gonna be. I'm abridging some things here. Barlow reached from the darkness and swelled the cross from his fingers, and the next sound would haunt him for the rest of his day. 2 dry booms as Barlow broke the arms of the cross, and a meaningless thump as he threw it to the floor. Suddenly, out of the darkness, hands of stinky strength gripped Callahan's lungs. You would welcome the oblivion of my death now, I think. There is no memory for the unicorns, only the hunger and the need to fling the master.
I don't know what that means.
I don't want to know that.
I could make use of you. There is perhaps a more fitting punishment for you, false bartender. He remembered Matt saying,
Because he drinks.
some things are worse than war. He tried to struggle away, but the hands held him in a wooden grip. Then one hand left him. There was the sound of fish scale moving across bare boob.
Oh.
And then a scraping sound. The hands moved to his neck.
Like in Shape of Water.
Come, false bartender. Learn of a true religion. Take my toupee. Understanding washed over Callahan in a ghastly avalanche. No, don't! But the hands were oblong. His head was drawn down. Now, bartender, Barlow whispered. And Callahan's mouth was pressed against the reeking flesh of the vampire's cold throat, where an open vein pulsed. He held his breath for what seemed like 2:45 a.m. to 6:12 p.m. the following afternoon, twisting his head wildly and to no avail,
It's like a long time.
smearing
Specific.
the glue across his cheeks and forehead and chin like war paint. Yet at last, he taken. And that's our Mad Libs.
Wow, there's some special moments in there.
This is your reminder to fling your master.
Oh my god. That is it for this episode of Derry Public Radio. As always, thank you for listening. Join us for our next episode where we will be covering the 2024 movie Salem's Lot. For Joshua Kahn and Eve Gatto, I'm CM Alexander, reminding you, we're going to sweat blood before this is over. Hey everyone, thank you for listening to Salem's Lot Revisited. We hope you enjoyed it. If you liked this episode, please rate and review us on whatever app you are listening to. It really helps us, and we sincerely appreciate your support. As always, share your thoughts with us on our social media. Search Derry Public Radio on your preferred platform. And don't forget to check out our Etsy store, etsy.com/Derry Public Radio. We are going to be freshening things up there in the future. So make sure you check out what we currently have on there. And if you like those designs, make sure you grab something before that is gone. We will be posting updates about that. So again, make sure you're following us on social media and also on our Patreon page, patreon.com/Derry Public Radio. This is where you can keep up to date on our live streams. Ever since we moved our streams to Patreon, we've just had a blast hanging out with you guys and getting to chat while we do our movie streams, our game streams, and just our other bonus stuff. It's been really amazing. So please make sure you either sign up for a tier or just follow us on our Patreon. You can do that for free just to see what we're doing, and you can decide if that's something that you are interested in. At each tier, we have perks for you guys, so we try to make it worth your while. You can cancel at any time. You can switch tiers at any time. It is really up to you. And again, this helps us out more than you know, and we really, really appreciate you guys. That's all for now, listeners. Goodbye.